Good afternoon and welcome to a spectacular April 13th afternoon in Pickett, Wisconsin. Today is just absolutely spectacular. There's not a single cloud in the sky, it's 63 degrees, and I've got a YS engine on the stand. And I've been so excited to run this thing. This is the YS FZ63 engine that I picked up at the Valley Aero Modelers swap meet for an incredible price. And hopefully in about 5 minutes or so we're going to find out if that money was well spent. So, those of you that are unfamiliar with YS engines, some of you may be, this operates on a pressurized fuel tank system. It's got a fuel regulator and it builds up pressure, which requires a check valve in the line and fuel filter. So I had a video where I explained how I set this thing up, the fuel system, and now I'm just excited to get this thing running. So the parameters. I've got the same Master Airscrew 12.6 prop that came on this engine when I purchased it. It came off the hobby table just like that. So I figured, what the hell, I'm going to just use this prop. I put a brand new OSF glow plug in here, and the fuel I'm running, don't ask me where I came up with this fuel, but it's 22% nitro, 18% oil, and 92% of that is synthetic and 8% castor. It was a bottle of some heli fuel that I cut and mixed and did some things with. Needless to say, I even added a little bit more castor to it to bring the oil content up to probably about 20%. So I got 22% nitro fuel, 20% oil content for the very first run of this. Now, I did a pressure check on this on the bench in the previous video, and so the process for starting this engine will be, according to the YS manual, open the throttle fully, rotate the prop through 10 times to pressurize the system, and I see that I've already got fuel in this line. This is the line that builds the pressure. So as I rotate the prop, it's pushing air in here and building pressure, and then this line is getting forced in here. So it looks like there's also maybe fuel already going into the carb too. Now earlier today there was not, and when I did it in the garage, rotated it through, I was a little concerned because I thought I would see fuel as I'm priming it, see fuel going here, and I didn't. So what I did was, before I came over, I took the lines off and was blowing in this line, and then I finally saw air bubbles coming up here. So this thing looks like it might almost be primed and ready to go right now. Now in theory I could probably attempt to hand start this, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use the electric starter, and right now the wind is picking up a little bit, so let's just fire this thing up and see how it runs. Now I've got this adjustment here because I'm not entirely sure that I'm seeing properly as far as how to set the throttle stop or the idle set screw. Now I have the high-speed needle set to open 2.5 turns, what the manual says, and of course that was for break-in, but whatever. And the low-speed mixture open 1 full turn from fully closed. So it's set per the instructions. I did not check the valve lash using feeler gauges. When I took the rocker cover off, I checked the valve lash by my finger method, and at top dead center, they both felt fairly good. So I'm not too concerned about that. The only thing I didn't do is I did not pull the fuel regulator off to see what the health of the diaphragm or anything was. So this might be the area of concern for me if it doesn't run properly, but we'll find out. Let's not speculate, let's just get to running this engine. Okay, now I am going to prime this thing as the manual said, even though it looks like there's already fuel in there. So my throttle is fully open. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I see fuel going in here. So this thing has got fuel. It's going to fire up. That's my prediction. my throttle stop screw is set too low, or that needs more time to warm up. Wow, okay. Well, it runs. I just saw fuel splosh up here, and let's reset this. I'm gonna go 1, 2 and a half. Odd. I don't understand why it's not going to full throttle now. What am I seeing in here? I'm seeing some strange stuff there. We might have some garbage in this fuel regulator that's going to need to be cleaned out. It's a very good possibility. that's the thing, is I was getting a good low idle, but I don't know why it was stalling out like that. There, let's see. I can't obviously check the RPM now, and it's not running. Peculiar. I'm seeing strange yellow material coming out of here. Now this hopefully won't be going into the fuel tank because it should just be allowing pressure to go in there, but I don't know what that is. Not sure why it's shutting down like that, but it's running pretty damn well. Seems to me I'm remembering something about, not from the manual, but from some other source, about how you're supposed to turn the high-speed needle and do something, and I'm kind of not remembering right now. I just don't know what that weird material is in there. I think I'm going to put an 11.8 prop on here for the remainder of this tank. Okay, so I've got an 11.8 APC on here now. Let's see if it does anything a little bit different with this. Understand if that's a overheating thing. I didn't hear it knocking, or what that is. Maybe it's not broken in. I have no idea. I don't know how many runs this engine had on it or anything like that. So I'm really kind of not sure right now. I think I'm going to end the run here. Now, just to prove that this is under pressure, I want to see if I can show you it squirting fuel. See that? That's a pressurized fuel system. Now, how do I relieve the pressure the right way? Right there. Did you hear that? That's a pressurized fuel system. Now, I think I want to put this on itself here. It still seems like there's pressure on here. most of the nitro should be burned off now. Okay, so there you have it. YS engine, it runs pretty damn good. Now obviously, like I said, I bought it at a swap meet. Didn't really get a whole lot of information from the fellow I bought it from other than it was run 10 years ago. And not having nearly as much YS experience as I have SATO or OS experience, I don't know if the behavior at times when it was just shutting down was because it was overheating, because it's not fully broken in. I don't know. If any of you watched that tank setup at the end of that video where I did a quick look inside and I opened or removed the rear cover, it looked pristine in there, like maybe this thing had been run once. Now I didn't take the head off and see what the top of the piston looked like, so I really have no idea how much fuel has been through it. But I am certain that there will be YS experts that watch this video, and perhaps they can explain maybe what I'm seeing here. And it's just, to me, it looks like some kind of weird yellowish type material that just smells like, now it smells like nitro fuel, but it's kind of a yellowish tint to it. As far as I know, this should just be air coming out of here. So I don't know if maybe there's the diaphragm, the fuel regulator is not healthy, or what. I mean, the engine ran fine and it seemed to idle fine once I got the low speed set on it. It was just a couple of times where at high speed it would just die, or there would be times where going from low to high speed it would stumble. Could that be a break-in thing? I don't know. All I know is the engine runs pretty well, and for $90 I would say I got a hell of a good deal. And I probably shouldn't do that because it might throw whatever is left here in the regulator out. I probably should cap that. So let me do that real quick. Why does it seem like there's still pressure on this tank? There shouldn't be pressure on that tank. Maybe it's the heat. The heat built up is still warming the air, causing the pressure. I don't know. All I know is there's your run of this YS FZ63 engine, and there will be more runs. Now, I don't know that, I think the next run I'm going to use a different fuel. I'm probably going to use, I've got some Omega 15% Caster synthetic blend fuel. I think it's a 17%. I might just run that straight for one run just to see. I don't think a lower content oil fuel will be detrimental to the engine for one or two runs. I think when they specify 20% or more, 20 to 24% oil to run in these engines, I think they're really speaking about break-in and long-term running of the engine. I don't have any intentions of doing any long-term running of the engine. This engine's going to get, you know, some runs on it on the bench, and that's probably about it. So I don't think that I will be breaking too many rules by just running some straight Omega 15% the next time I run this. But I do like this APC 8 or 11.8 prop quite a bit better than the 12.6. It just sounded a lot happier with this. Maybe I'll do an 11.7 or an 11.6 too. I don't know. But anyway, there's your run of this beautiful engine.